so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets trembling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, traitors that star-spangled banner gave way for the land under the brave, and the home of the brave. Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight you in name, the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save this land of the brave, the US of A. Oh, traitors that star-spangled banner gave way for the land of the brave, and the
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're watching Maxspeed TV.
Let's go. I was born to kill it. I was meant to win. I am down and willing, so I will find a way. It took a minute, I didn't happen right away. When it get hot in the kitchen, you decide to stay. That's how it winners made. Stick a fork in the hater on my dinner plate. I walk into the fire like it's just a bit of flames. I switch my style up, watch the money pile up. I'ma get rich or die trying, want me switch lanes. I'm always getting better, I'ma be on 5th place. On this one, then 4th on the next. 3rd, 2nd, 1st, 4th, best. She showing love, give me all the raw energy. Don't stop, go ahead, get it in. Jump, knock, let me in. Huff and puff and blow the house down. Raw energy. Don't stop, go ahead, get it in. Jump, knock, let me in. Huff and puff and blow the house down. I do it for the love, they perform for the checks, and I still get more. They be bored by the rest. I done put the work in, wasn't born in success. See the storm, it affects the performance. But I dance in the rain and the thunder, the drums, so I keep going hard.
All right, folks. Welcome to Maxspeed TV. We had a little bit of issues with the session, so they created a new session to allow more drivers to come in. So we are loading up into the new session. So bear with me. We're going to go ahead and step back aside and get everything loaded up. So we will be back here in just a few minutes. Hang tight, folks. We will be right back. All right, folks, we got everything back up in the new session and getting more drivers coming in as we speak. They had it set for so many drivers, and there was a lot of drivers that couldn't get into the race. But we are back alive, and none of my overlays are working. There we go. Helps if it's visible. So, but anyways, guys, we got about 10 minutes left of practice. Just kind of going over what happened last week. Our opening race, 53 drivers in the session last week. Vinny Maestas, your winner, first race in OP, finishing with the win last week. Now, I am working on points graphics, but I will get those going hopefully here within the next few days. I'm going to be working on some of them tomorrow evening and throughout the weekend. So I already got several people out there. One of our admins for OP, Alex Green, is tuning in. Had to work tonight, so unable to race tonight for Alex. But Alex, thank you for everything you do. And, right now we're sitting at, looks like, man, we're going to have another big field tonight. Looks like we're sitting well over almost 50 drivers tonight by the way it's looking. Let me get a count here. Right, right. But right now we're sitting at We're sitting at 46 drivers that have entered the session right now. Still a pretty good field as we are winding down practice. We're going to go ahead and take a look at our track information here while we're waiting for OP Thursday night Throwback Cup Series. They are in the new Gen 4s. We got a track temperature. Looks like 134-degree track temperature, 77-degree air temp, 73% humidity, partly cloudy skies with 8-mile-an-hour winds. So pretty hot track out there. Oh, I'm sorry, 114 degrees. So, pretty warm track, I should say, for these guys out here. Now, if it's anything like last week when we get started on the race, more than likely we will see that track temperature go down. But like I said, right now we have got a great field ready to go. We see guys out on the track. Bubba Winningham, Greg Bourbonier out on the track. Of course, Vinny Maestas, last week's winner in the 70 machine out there. Hello, William, out there in YouTube chat. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Normally, I try to get stuff done and all my volume set, which I had, but since we had to change sessions, we may have some loud spots that is unintentional. So, yeah, 53 cars last week, and $49 cars so far this week. We'll see how many we get when we get to the qualifying. I see Belva out there. The Stephen Luttrell out there as well. Stephen, good luck tonight, buddy. Of course, Brendan Kennedy, our mod out there, helping me keep an eye on stuff. So, unfortunately, folks, y'all are stuck with me tonight and me alone. Mike Taldo is a part-time racer on another league, and I guess one of their usuals, regulars, didn't show up or couldn't show up, so they brought him in to race. So Mike will not be here with me tonight, but he is doing an amazing job. Can't wait to see what he does in the future for Maxspeed TV. So, well, let's see. I don't see he is in the session, but we're going to go ahead. I know he's one of the Thursday night admins, so I put him in the wrong room. Hang on a second, Hunter. There we go. This is the room I wanted you in, Hunter. You got a copy on me there, bud?
Yeah, I got you.
I see we had a new session. I explained to the fans that the session was limited when it was first done. So to allow the other drivers to come in, we created a new session. So what are you expecting? I know Alex is not here, and you're the only other admin that I've seen. So what are we expecting tonight here on Thursday night?
Well, what I'm hoping and what I'm expecting is obviously two different things tonight. I'd say be patient with us this week and the next few weeks. It could get a little hairy with the amount of cars we have, but I want to get together with Alex. I want to get together with Steve and all the other admins and try to figure out what we're going to do in the next following week, whether we're going to do a qualify-in or if we're just going to do what we're doing here. But it could be a caution fest tonight. I'm not sure. I hope it goes green. I hope we have some long green flag runs because, to be honest, this car gets better the longer it runs. If we can get past the first 10, 15 laps, the car will loosen up. Okay. But I think you're going to see racing throughout the whole field, and I believe it's going to be a ton of fun.
Well, this is, a lot of these guys that are over here are so used to super speedway racing. This is something a little bit different y'all do. For Thursday night, putting in a little, a few more technical tracks. Schedule's got a few road courses on the schedule for, I think, Watkins Glen was on there, and Sonoma?
Yeah, it's Sonoma.
So, some more technical tracks coming up in the future. But But again, I know Alex is out there, and I told him I appreciate all what you admins do. It's a thankless job sometimes, and well, you guys a lot of times get the brunt of the drivers' frustrations.
For sure. And as soon as I heard we had people not getting in, and it's people that have been with us for 2 to 3 seasons now, I'm like, I got to get them in somehow. I got to find a way to get them in. And, of course, we had Gregory, who has sponsored races for this season to help pay for our broadcast. I'm like, I can't not have them in the race. That's just not good. But I also don't want to kick these new people out and say, hey, we have full-timers that can come in. I don't want to be that guy. I'm going to let people race. Let the people race. Let them have fun. And then we'll figure it out next week when Alex will be here, and I can get together with him later this week.
All right. Well, Hunter, I know you want to get out there and get you some practice in, so I'm going to let you go. Got about a minute left to practice, so not a whole lot of time, but I appreciate you taking the time to visit with us to let our fans and viewers know what's going on, buddy.
For sure, and all you fans, I hope you enjoy the show tonight.
All right. Well, have a good one. We'll get you back down there in Team 2, bud.
Thank you.
Well, he's already moved himself. So we are about 45 seconds away from qualifying. Getting that checker flag as we still on Vinny Maestas out on the track. So we'll try to get caught up with him. I know he's out there practicing, but we'll see who gets the pole right now. Justin Fuller is showing the fastest time in practice. So we'll see what happens here when we get to qualified here in about 4 seconds. We're going to go ahead and step aside for just a second, and we will be right back. All right, folks, we are back, and let me change that to time because we got 5 minutes of practice. Charlie Woods out on the track qualifying. Justin Fuller coming out. Wesley Donaldson, Greg Bourbonier, Tyler Dalton, Christian Strader, Brandon Pfeiffer, Hunter Reynolds out there tonight. Tyrone Harris, Matthias Swank, Jimmy Hopp, Bobby Wetzel, Bentley Glazer, Kevin West, Hunter Carlson, Brent Elmore, Andrew Lutz, Chad Coleman, PK Paul Crumry, Lee Robinson out there, Robert Hooligan, Ron Holyfield, Brian Elmore, Stephen Luttrell, Bubba Winningham, and Andrew Lutz Jr. out there. And so is Jeff Hollingsworth coming off of pit road, getting his first lap in. Now, they do have 2 laps of qualifying here, folks. 1 fast repair and 2 GWC attempts. Right now, Christian Strader, let me get the qualifying bar up there, with the fastest time with a 30.93. Donaldson there, Wesley Donaldson in second with a 30.96. Hunter Reynolds with the 31.01. Chad Coleman with the 31.02. Very close times right now as Christian Strader just jumped up to the top. And we just had a major malfunction with SDK. So let me refresh that. Justin Fuller putting out a fast time of 30.85. Kevin West currently in a second, but Ross Rawlings just knocked him off of that second spot with a 30.90. We're going to see if anybody tops Justin. Ross Rawlings, well, Nope. Right now, Justin Fuller with a 30.85 is what the timing is showing. iRacing is showing. And SDK is acting a little strange tonight, folks. So, of course, don't know why it's doing that. Could be with all the drivers in and out. But right now, Justin Fuller sitting in that top spot. I need to make sure. Let me do something here, folks. I need to make sure that my settings are lined up correctly. Let me make sure. Okay. So we are good to go there, folks. Again, this is some behind the scenes stuff. Well, I need to get rid of Daytona. And I need to add an image. We'll see if I got that image or not. I do. All right. So my behind the scenes look at what we do with the Chicagoland Speedway. So 23 seconds left of qualifying. It looks like Justin Fuller is going to be your pole sitter tonight. And of course, I am not seeing him in Discord. So it looks like we won't get to talk to our pole sitter tonight. Unless he pops into the podium winners room somehow. As we are done with qualifying, we will get to our grid here, folks. So Justin Fuller, your pole sitter in the 151 to his outside on row 1, Ross Rawlings. Starting row 2 on the inside, Tyler Dalton. On the outside of row 2 is Vinny Maestas, last week's winner here on OP Throwback Cup Series. Row number 3, Kevin West on the inside, Christian Strader on the outside. Row number 4, Chad Coleman and Bentley Glazer. Row number 5 is going to be Wesley Donaldson and Jeff Hollingsworth. Row number 6, Hunter Reynolds and Charlie Woods. Row number 7, Brandon Pfeiffer and Jerry West. Row number 8, Dustin German and John Mushton. Just talked to him, and I still can't pronounce his name. Row number 9, Chris Walker, Daniel Dow. Row number 10, Bobby Wetzel and Brent Elmore. Starting row 11, Jimmy Hop, Hunter Carlson. Row number 12, Tyrone Harris and James McCrae. Row number 13 is going to be Nathan Nixon, and to his outside, the 78 of PK Paul Crumry. Row number 14, Rusty Modesty. Row number 14 outside will be Lee Robinson. Row number 15, the one and only Stephen Luttrell. To his outside will be the 126 of Robert Hooligan. Row number 16 is going to be Rick Ellison and Andrew Lutz Jr. Row number 17, Rick Sanchez, Matthias Swank. Row number 18 is going to be Ron Holyfield and Michael Hopp. Row number 19, Harold Rothery and Andrew Lutz Sr. There is 2 Andrew Lutzes out here, junior and senior, so we'll kind of keep an eye on that. Row number 20, Bubba Winningham and Brian Elmore. Row number 21, Greg Burbanier and Mike Edgerton. Row number 22, Andrew Farinoz and Everett Lane. Row 23, Adam Pettit and Cody Eldred. Row number 24 is going to be Nick Wing and Eric Laurie. And it'll actually be 25 rows with Larry Eddy. Well, it shows John Mustaine, but he is Mushton, but he is probably going to be starting from pit road. As we get ready, we are on our warm-up lap here. I've heard that name before, Alex, and I think I've seen him race on another league. Yeah, he is fast. As we look down at the field, the pace car will dive off down the pit road. Get ready for that Chevyland green flag. We'll get that off of there. The Chevyland green flag out. Here we go. Boogity, 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 folks. We racing Gen 4 style here at Chicagoland. Justin Fuller with a good jump out to the front. Tyler Dalton right there with him. Ross Rawlings to the outside with Vinny Maestas. Now Justin Fuller going to that high side, trying to get that line to hit that apex on the corner. He goes from the high side to the low side, and the caution is out before they can complete the first lap. So let's see what happened here as it takes us back here between the 924 of Ron Holyfield. And let's see, that is the 95. I believe that is Michael Hopp. It looks like maybe he came up. We were 3 wide right there as we were calling the action up to the front. The 924 kind of comes up, gets into the door. That sends them both up towards the wall. The 95 kind of pancakes the wall as the 924 goes around. The 21, that is Andrew Lutz getting a piece of that as well. Looks like the 7 as Bubba Winningham gets tagged from the back by, look like Bourbonier of the 00 as Doug Johnson goes through and looks like he misses. But we had several cars involved in that. So Justin Fuller going to be your leader. Tyler Dalton in second. Ross Rawlings third. Vinny Maestas in fourth. Kevin West rounding out your top 5. Lee Robinson and John Mushton is a lap down for starting on the pits. We got several cars down pit road. Cody Eldred, Andrew Perrinaz, Eric Laurie, Harold Rothery, Doug Johnson, Michael Hopp, Brian Elmore, Andrew Lutz, Bourbonier, Edgerton, and Holyfield. Well, I hate to say it, Alex, but your prayers didn't work. Just saying, buddy. We didn't even make it to the end of the first lap, and the caution comes out. But I do thank everybody for tuning in. As we come down the back stretch, we're going to step aside for a commercial break. We will be right back. Well, maybe not. For some reason, my commercial ain't there. Well, we're going to have to hold off on that because for some reason my commercial didn't show up. Well, lap 4 of 134. Yeah, as the Chevy Lane green flag comes back out once again, Fuller on the loud pedal. Tyler Dalton in second. Ross Rawlings looking to make a run on the inside. Tyler Dalton to the outside, getting close to that wall as Ross Rawlings in the 84 goes up in front of Vinny Maestas. As we kind of look back through the field here, folks, we are side by side. Not seeing right here. We got a little action with the 88 of Andrew Farinoz, the 95 of Michael Hopp, and the 4 of Cody Eldred. But a caution has come back out once again. I don't know. Oh, right there. That was the 921. Of Tyrone Harris right up against the wall. That's a 36 of Stephen Luttrell. Was right there. I'm not sure what happened. Let's take a look here. That is the 92, which I don't see a 92 right off. That might have been. Ooh, Stephen right into the back of the 921. That gets Tyrone Harris a little sideways. Tries to straighten him out, and then Tyrone hard up in to that outside wall. There goes his hood and his bumper flying. But then we have some stuff coming behind him. The 388 and the 10 getting twisted up there as well. That is Doug Johnson. And I'm not sure who. Oh, that's Everett Lane in the 10 car. As Doug Johnson sends him up into the wall. 924 of Ron Holyfield. So we're going to go back live here, folks. Again, they only get one fast repair. So if they use it early, they got to be real careful, as we are lap 8 of 134. Again, this long, shorter track, 134 laps, shouldn't take too long. Lights on the pace car are out. We are going to get double file here. Of course, they changed it from last week from single file with the lap down cars on the inside back to double file. I think the drivers liked that a little bit better. Moose Pie out there giving me a wave. How you doing, Moose Pie? And I have not seen David Casper out here yet, so I'm sure he'll probably be popping in here in just a few minutes. I just thought I'd answer the question before you asked. But again, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, this is race number 2, so these guys are still trying to, some of these guys really haven't never raced these cars or trying to get used to them as we hit the Geico restart zone. Chevyland green flag out once again on the loud pedal as Justin Fuller gets a good jump there on the restart. That's Ross Rawlings down on the inside. Tyler Dalton in the 19 on the high side. As we are battling right here, Vinny Maestas, and a caution out already. Let's see. That happened on the restart. That was back there in the back. That looked like Mike Edgerton. Let's see what happened to Mike here. It looks like green flag came back out. I don't know if he missed a gear, started in the wrong gear, but the 21 of Andrew Lutz right into the back end of the 956. You can see Andrew moving up, trying to avoid him, but his reflexes was a little late, so that caused the spin out and iRacing through the caution. Yep, I agree. Let me see. Sorry about that. Was working on something and we went to black. So I can't, obviously I can't do that while I am live, so but
Sizzling summer savings are yours for the taking at North Louisiana's #1 dealer, Chevyland. Save now before the price adjustments kick in. Get up to $9,000 off MSRP on select new Silverado models or incredible 0% financing on select new Chevrolet vehicles. And the Chevyland Advantage, 12 months, no charge scheduled maintenance. Get the best deals at North Louisiana's #1 dealer, Chevyland. Your Silverado headquarters. Online at Chevyland.com.
all right, we are back, folks, once again. And I can exit that. Of course, Chevyland, our Maxspeed TV green flag sponsor. So big shout out to Chevyland. If you are in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, go to Chevyland.com. They are out of Shreveport, Louisiana, but you can do everything online there. And once they get you taken care of, if you can't make it to Shreveport, they will deliver in the lower 48 states. As we get ready to get to the Geico restart zone for that Chevyland green flag, back out once again on the loud pedal. Let's get some green flag runs in here, guys. We got to get this thing going. If not, we will be here for quite some time as we are at lap 14 of 134. Justin Fuller with a good run out front. Ross Rawlings there in third. Tyler Dalton second. Vinny Maestas in fourth. Wesley Donaldson in fifth. A battle right here for that fifth spot. Wesley Donaldson on the outside, and a caution has come back out. It looks like the 51 was trying to come up. That is Jimmy Hop. Let's take a look here. The 46 of Chris Walker was right there. Jimmy Hop right there in the middle. Looks like Jimmy tried to go up to the high side. Oh, Chris was up into the wall, and Jimmy, did he actually touch? Well, let's get on Jimmy here. Or I'm sorry, that was not Jimmy. Yeah, that was Jimmy. I want to take a look here to see, as Chris Walker was up into the wall there. Jimmy's right there in the middle. He goes up and then tries to avoid taking him out. Well, he ends up catching the 5. I believe that is the 5 of Rick Sanchez. Oh, the 58 goes right through. No, Rick Sanchez is the 05. That was Rusty Modesty. So several cars got caught up in that as well. As we get back to lap pacing. William. No, not quite, buddy. Not quite. I thought I'd already had my stream deck set up with my commercials for Thursday night. That's one thing that I didn't do. So, Alex, just a quick question for you. Have you heard anything from the Nerditude guys on an overlay for you guys, or we just want to keep using this? Just asking. So Justin Fuller, Tyler Dalton, Ross Rawlings, Vinny Maestas, Wesley Donaldson, Kevin West, Chad Coleman, Christian Strader, Bentley Glazer, and Jeff Hollingworth, your top 10. As we go back side by side, pace lights are out. Hey, there's my good buddy Timothy Bates. If you don't know Timothy, he is one of the guys that sets stuff up for Purple Heart Homes. And I've got to give Purple Heart Homes a shout out here while we get ready to go back green. Hey, there's David Casper. His pace car dies off down to pit road. The Chevyland green flag back out once again. Come on, fellas. Let's get going here. But Timothy takes care of a lot of veterans that's needing stuff done. And Purple Heart Homes goes out and, does repairs or builds stuff that the veterans need. And me being a veteran myself and being a disabled veteran, I don't need anything like that. But if I ever did, Timothy would be the guy to get a hold of to try to get something done. I know they don't do a lot in Oklahoma like you used to, but I think that may be changing soon. Timothy, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Looking back through the field, they're kind of finally starting to get a little bit lined out, single file. We got a few guys going up high. That is the 5 of Rusty Modesty. But looking back through the field, we're pretty much single file. Michael Hopp, unfortunately, still down on pit road. Larry Eddy out of the race, as well as Rick Ellison. Looking back up towards the front, Justin Fuller, Tyler Dalton, Ross Rawlings, Vinny Maestas, and Wesley Donaldson, your top 5. All right, Alex, I just thought I'd ask. I didn't know if they'd gotten back with you or not. I know that it's going to take a little while to get that stuff done with all the coding, but I'm sure them guys will. Well, they do an amazing job. Of course, Nerditudes, guys, I'm in a partnership with them. They're the ones that got me set up with a lot of the SDK stuff that you're seeing, especially for Saturday and Monday. It's just, there's a lot more to it than what I'm used to with ATVO, but I love the graphics. I love the ticker. I love the tower. But we are side-by-side racing. Well, the 19 now is your leader, Tyler Dalton, jumped out in front of the 151 now. We talked a little bit about with Hunter in practice, and I talked a little bit with John Mushkin before the race. Now, tires here will be a premium after, like, I think Hunter said after about 15 laps, they'll start, the cars will start getting a little bit loose, will loosen up, I should say, and not be as tight. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping too. We see some guys jockeying around. Bobby Wetzel. Oh, somebody up into the wall. James McCrae. No, that was Andrew Lutz Jr. Ooh, Andrew Lutz Jr. getting a little bit loose there. He did scrape the wall, but was able to maintain control and not bring out a caution. I see the 21. He is having issues. Oh my gosh, Timothy, I did not know that. But yes, they are an amazing organization. Again, like I said, Purple Heart Homes is just a great organization that helps our veterans that need the help. As we kind of look through the field here, these back guys back here are all kind of spread out a little bit. All the way back. There's Bubba Winningham. And I'm surprised Bubba, unless I need to update my trading paints. Give me just a second here. We're going to re-download some paints because Bubba was in a Chevyland car before the session change. At least I thought he was anyway. I was looking at that. That was the 7. I thought that was Vinny Maestas in the 70. Well, you stay safe out there, David. I used to do some storm spotting myself, and we've got another caution here, folks. Let's take a look here and see. What happened? Oh, the 32 of Hunter Carlson getting tagged by the 81. Now that is Daniel Dow. That sent Carlson down to the grass, and Daniel Dow up into the wall. Somehow misses the 50 car. Or the 50 car misses him as he comes back up on the track. Well, that's going to bring out yet another caution. As these guys come down pit road, and I'm going to do that right now. Should be checked. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Nope, it wasn't. But now it is, so we should be in pretty good shape. We want to try to get these guys in their paint schemes that they have. I mean, some of these guys spend a lot of time getting these paints done right. And, you know, we want to make sure we catch the paint jobs. Because, like I said, these guys do spend a lot of time on the cars. Good night, David. Again, sir, be safe, buddy. And hopefully it doesn't get real bad there where you're at, bud. Just be safe. Hey, good night, Moose Pie. Have a great night. There we go. As we get back there, that's that 66 Nokia. Let's take a look at that beautiful blue car. Chevyland butt kicker. Looking at the front here. Got the old style Nokia phone on there. Well, let's see where we're at on our laps. The lights on the pace car are out. As we are coming down the back stretch, we'll try to catch up with some interviews here shortly. As we are at lap 30 of 134. Well, guys, at this rate, it is going to be a long night. Chevyland green flag back out once again, folks, on the loud pedal. The 5 of Rusty Modesty out to the front. PK, Paul Crumry, in a second, and the caution immediately comes back out. Let's take a look here. That was Everett Lane. I seen it showed went off track. It looked like a checkup in the 05 of I'm sorry, that was John Mustian. The 51 of Jimmy Hop. The 46 of Chris Walker. The 00 of Greg Bourbonier. Getting a piece of that. The 05 of Rick Sanchez. The 071 of Eric Laurie. The 126 looks like he somehow made it through. Looks like the 956 of Mike Edgerton. Oh no, and we were talking about Bubba Winningham getting caught up in that as well. Well, let's go ahead and see if we can bring Bubba up here real quick. Bubba, Steve Butler both got a copy there, buddy.
What do you say, bud?
Man, I'm about to go to sleep up here in the booth with all these cautions.
Yes, sir. There's more cars than are supposed to be here, I think, and it's just creates a little traffic jam, a little accordion effect, and over and over and
Yeah.
over and over.
Well, I
But-
looked like you got a little bit of that last wreck. I know you're coming into your pit box. So do you have a lot of damage?
No, I don't have a lot. So I got one of the earliest ones. Somebody ran up underneath me and did about 6.5 minutes damage. I got it down to 3.5. It went back up to 4.5 now. So we're gonna keep running these little pit stops like this for a while until they get everything sorted out and I can get my damage fixed, and we'll be able to run. So I think it's going to clean up here in a little bit. People just got to get used to it. It's like opening day for a new sport for some people.
Right, right. Well, we were looking at that beautiful blue and white Nokia Chevyland car. Beautiful car, Bubba. We were trying to make sure we highlighted your guys' car and everything because, you guys spend quite a bit of time on these paint jobs.
Yeah, painting these cars is really a really nice way to relax and just enjoy making something. So I've had a blast doing this. I do a lot on the weekends. And Nokia was the number one selling cell phone in 2003, so that's why I put it on this car.
Well, it looks beautiful. I love the blue. Blue's my favorite color. But, again, thanks to you. Thanks to Chevyland for, our green flag sponsorship here at Maxspeed TV. Bubba, we appreciate all you and Chevyland does for not just us here at Maxspeed, but our racing in these leagues in general.
Well, it's a lot of fun, and iRacing in general is just a lot of fun. I've met a lot of good friends, made a lot of good friends, and that's what it's about for me. And for those of you watching out there, it's going to straighten out here. This will be a good race here in a little while. Don't worry about it. It's going to be okay.
Well, we're going to hang on to the edge of our seats, Bubba. We're going to keep an eye on it. Well, good luck, buddy. We will talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
We'll get him back down there as we get ready to go back green. Rusty Modesty, your leader. PK, Paul Crumright in second. Nathan Nixon third. Harold Rothery in fourth. Hunter Reynolds rounding out your top five. Pace car dives off down to pit road. Chevyland green flag back out once again on the loud pedal. As Rusty Modesty gets a good jump, the 78. That is PK. Looked like he was coming down on the 92 of Nathan Nixon a little bit. Got the 7 of Harold Rothery right behind PK. Now Hunter Reynolds down on the inside, side-by-side racing. The 92, the 78. 92 jumps up to the high side, kind of checks up the 7. It calls a little bit of a check up. The 51 right there in the middle. I believe that's supposed to be the 151 of Justin Fuller, our pole sitter. Down on the low side. We see, the 7 and the 84. Look like the 84 might have pushed the 7 up high. We are 3 wide right here, though. That is the 07 of Kevin West, the 84 of Ross Rawlings, and the 7 of Harold Rothery was 3 wide there for just a minute. I mean, the Chicagoland is kind of a wide track. You can go 3 wide, but we've got another caution here, folks. Let's take a look and see. That's going to be... I see the 80. With no bumper, but it took me to Everett Lane. Well, it shows the 80, but it should be the 21 of Andrew Lutz. Andrew goes up, gets up into that outside wall. Wall rides around the corner, gets a loose, and right down into the nose of that number 9 machine of Nick Wing. Well, Bubba Winningham gets a piece of that just after we talked to him. Well, unfortunately, that's going to bring out another caution. Guys, we have got several drivers. Looks like they have taken their cars behind the wall. Hey, there's Luke Gray out there. Luke, I got your request on Facebook. I accepted, buddy. I'm looking here to see what the ticker says, if anybody is out completely. I know we've got one. That is Larry Eddy. Looks like Michael Hopp is out. Rick Ellison is out. Andrew Farinaws. I am not seeing him on the track. There's Rusty Modesty. He is trying to, looks like he's trying to make that pace car driver mad. And NASCAR ain't going to like that, rubbing up against a pace car. I think they penalized one of the drivers. I think it was Kyle Busch that did that. That almost ripped the bumper off of the pace car. Well, looking back at your top five, Modesty, Crumride, Nixon, Fuller, West. Your top five, Reynolds, Rawlings, Rothery, Donaldson, Maestas, your top 10. Rounding out 11 through 20 is Pfeiffer, Dalton, Coleman, Glazer, Strader, Hollingsworth, German, Robinson, McRae, and West. Now, we got a Kevin West and a Jerry West. I'm assuming either brothers or father-son. Just like we have a Andrew Lutz and Andrew Lutz Jr. father-son. And I thought I seen another duo. Yeah, Michael and Jimmy Hopp as Chicagoland Speedway back out. But once again, let's take a look to see if our track has cooled off any. It looks like it's cooled off 7 degrees since the start of the race. We are at 107 degree track temperature, 77 degree air temperature, 73% humidity, and 10-mile-an-hour winds out here today at Chicagoland. Of course, Windy City. I'm surprised it's not more than that. As we got yet another caution. Let's take a look here, see what it shows me. It takes me back, but there is something going on up at the front. That is the 07 of Kevin West. And that is the 92. I'm looking for the 92. I don't see a 92. Well, let's look on a chase view here. As you can see, they are kind of side by side there. Oh, that 92 machine. Let's see. That's Nathan Nixon. Catches him on that left rear quarter panel as he comes up and touches right there and just spins him around. Let's see what oh, Doug Johnson get several cars. The 34. This may take out several drivers here tonight, folks. Several cars involved in that one. Stephen Luttrell coming down off of pit road. Brent Elmore, Jimmy Hopp, Hunter Carlson, Rick Sanchez coming off of pit road. as well as Andrew Lutz Jr., Doug Johnson down on pit road, Chris Walker down on pit road, Andrew Lutz Sr. down on pit road. So several cars getting caught up in that as we come past the start-finish line. Lights on the pace car go out. It looks like John Mushton still, or he is coming down pit road now. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree, Luke, that it's getting late. But, again, these admins, Alex, Hunter, I don't know who all's the admins, but you know, all these guys will get together. They're gonna work this out to where we get a manageable field. With Chevyland green flag back out once again, folks, on the loud pedal as we get going. Rusty Modesty with a good jump to the outside, or to the inside, sliding up. Ooh, little Justin Fuller and PK. Justin came up, was wanting to get up on that high line, just wasn't clear. Now Justin Fuller and Rusty Modesty side by side coming down the back stretch. PK down with on that low side. Here comes the 91 of Donaldson. They're going to try to make a run to the outside. PK keeping it in that lower mid line, coming into the tri-oval, and then we're going to come into turns 1 and 2. Justin Fuller down on the inside, Modesty on the outside. Let's take a look here. We're 3 wide back here. That is Eric Laurie, the 81 of, I don't know who the 81 is. Is they a lap down? Yep, that is Daniel Dow. We got a car down on the apron. I believe that is Bourbonier. Greg Bourbonier coming down pit road, and he just disappeared. So I don't know what happened there. There's Andrew Lutz coming off of pit road. Andrew Faranos, Rick Ellison, Michael Hopp all out of the race. As we get back to the pack up here, over Vinny Maestas right there, we was watching that. Side by side, that is Maestas, Rothery, Dalton, all battling it out right here. Ooh, the 5 of Rusty Modesty slowing down, causing a little bit of a, little bit of a checkup. We are still green flag racing though. Wesley Donaldson, your leader now. Justin Fuller and Wesley battling it out right in here for the lead. It looks like Donaldson's still going to get the better run coming off up turn 1 and 2 to the back stretch. Justin Fuller second, PK in third. Vinny Maestas up to 4th. He's got Rusty Modesty and Tyler Dalton right there. As Vinny drops it down to that inside, we are starting to get, looks like transition maybe to a night race. So that is going to definitely cool things off a little bit. As we come out of the shadows into turn 1 and 2 on the back stretch. Yeah, good racing up front. Oh, looking back here, we were 3 wide for a second. Brandon Pfeiffer in the 40 machine. That is Chad Coleman in 11, Harold Rothery in the 7. Now the 11, Chad Coleman making a run on the 25 of Bentley Glazer. I'm going to look at Bentley's outside as they come out of the tri-oval to turn 1 and 2. Harold Rothery getting a little bit loose there. We're 3 wide. Harold Rothery, Brandon Pfeiffer, Ross Rawlings. Ooh, Ross and Bentley touching a little bit there, but good control to keep those things under their own power. Looking here, you got the 29 of Christian Strader, Nathan Nixon in the 92 battling out James McCrae and Dustin German battling it out as well. Bobby Wetzel right here, Jeff Hollingsworth in that 79 machine. I got the 90 of Bobby Wetzel to his outside. As they come down the back straightaway once again. Hunter Reynolds back here in 21st. But right now, our biggest mover is going to be this 7 of Harold Rothbury, up 26 spots into 10th. Now 27 spots now into 10th. Let's take a look back up front. They have kind of went single file. Donaldson, your leader. Fuller in second. Maestas third. Dalton fourth. Coleman in a fifth. Bentley Glazer up a couple spots into 6th. PK falling back to 7th. Brandon Pfeiffer there in 8th. Harold Rothbury in 9th. And we are still green flag at racing. Bobby Wetzel in 11th. Look at here, Christian Strader, 76 of Lee Robinson. Looks like he is actually in the 3 car. Dale Sr. Throwback there. Jerry West in the 01 right there. Ross Rawlings down on the low line in the 84. Jeff Hollingsworth right behind him. And James McCrae to the outside of Jeff. Then you got Charlie Woods right here in the 901. Adam Pettit in the 49. Rusty McCrae dropping, or Rusty Modesty dropping back in the pack, back to the 23rd spot. Cody Eldred right there. Hunter Reynolds moving around Modesty. Stephen Luttrell here with Andrew Lutz Jr. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the 81 of Daniel Dow, who is a lap down. And then you got Andrew Lutz Jr. in the Reese's 58, Nick Wing in the 9th, and Brian Elmore back here in the 39. Brent Elmore in the 31. He has got the 24 of, well, it's supposed to be the 10 of Everett Lane on his inside. The 51 of Jimmy Hops back here, Tyrone Harris, John Mushton, and this 24 machine. Hunter Carlson back here in 34th. Eric Laurie in 35th. Just kind of single file. Rick Sanchez, Mike Edgerton, Bubba Winningham, Doug Johnson back out on the track. And Daniel Dow's working his way up through the field to try to get his last lap back. Ron Holyfield, Andrew Lutz. Looks like we have lost several guys. Looks like Greg Bourbonniere, Kevin West, Chris Walker, Matthias Swank, Andrew Farinars, Rick Ellison, Michael Hopp, and Larry Eddy all out of the race. Now looking back up to the front, Donaldson getting challenged by the 51 of Fuller. Fuller passes him fairly easy as we come into turns 3 and 4. That's Fuller up front, Donaldson second, Dalton in a third, Maestas in fourth, and Glazer in a fifth. Still a good battle going on up here between Donaldson and Fuller, just back and forth. Got Everett Lane down on pit road. Here comes Brent Elmore. Looks like he's got some damage to his right front, but no caution has come out. We are down to 42 drivers now. We wait to see. Brent Elmore is coming back out on the track. Everett Lane still down on pit road. But Fuller, Donaldson, Dalton, Maestas, Glazer, your top 5, Coleman, Crumrye, Pfeiffer, Wetzel, and Strader rounding out your top 10. These top 6 cars here are all in a row trying to stay in the same lines or fairly close to it, as we are rounding up to lap 61, or coming up to lap 61. We're looking back here, Rusty Modesty getting on the inside of the 4 of Cody Eldred, and getting on the inside of Rusty Modesty. Now Nick Wing trying to catch up with Rusty. Let's see if he can make that pass in the corner. Going to kind of keep an eye on this battle right here real quick. The 9 of Wing on the inside. Modesty to the outside as they come down the back straightaway. Going to come in turns 3 and 4. Will the 9 have enough momentum to carry him through the corner to get around the 5? The 5 having to check up. As Wing does make it around him, slides up in front of the 5. Andrew Lutz Jr. coming down pit road. Eric Laurie coming down pit road as well. Lap 62 under their belts, fixing to hit lap 63. Everett Lane still down on pit road. Just kind of looking back through the field here, folks. There's a lot of cars out here to try to keep track of. I'm trying to catch it as I am looking at it. Now, Strader did pass in the 29. He did pass Bobby Wetzel for P9. They are back and forth, though, Wetzel and Strader. As the 90 of Wetzel gets around, we are 3 wide. That is, well, that's actually the 3. Or it's supposed to be the 76. Well, so far we're doing pretty good. We're going to go ahead and pull our pit strategy up here. Looks like we have had 15 green flag runs, or 15 lap green flag run here, Alex. So doing pretty good. Just watching this battle with the 76 of Lee Robinson. He does get around Wetzel and Strader. Now Strader and Wetzel battling it out for that 10th place spot. But Strader does get ball back. Now the 50, Dustin Garman looking at a run on the inside. Or Dustin and German, I should say. But he's got the 909 of James McRae on his outside. Jerry West trying to get in the mix in the 01 as well. As we go back 3 wide, that is the 26 of Hunter Reynolds to the inside. Dustin German in the middle. Jerry West to the outside. As Jerry does pull away. Now the 90, Bobby Wetzel getting checked up there for some reason. And coming into turns 3 and 4, coming out of turn 4 to the tri-oval here. We are side-by-side racing. Oh, the 90 dropping to the apron. Maybe trying to straighten that corner out a little bit. But he has fallen back to 17th. As the 84 of Ross Rawlings does get around him. We're single file, though, back through here. We'll start with the 126. Charlie, well, actually, 901 of Charlie Woods, the 92 of Nathan Nixon, and Cody Eldred. Now we're side by side with the 81 of Daniel Dow and the 126 of Robert Hooligan. Oh, Mike, sorry, dude. Well, Justin Fuller still your leader. Tyler Dalton second. Donaldson third. Coleman in fourth. Maestas in fifth. Well, we got some guys making some green flag pit stops. That is the 05 of Rick Sanchez down on pit road. Unfortunately, Everett Lane still down on pit road as well. Nathan Nixon coming down pit road at this time as Sanchez does make it out. Fuller, Dalton, Donaldson. Oh, come on, iRacing. Whew, I thought it was going to lock up and kick me out. But Dalton, Donaldson, Maestas, Coleman, your top 5. As we hit lap 70 now, folks. Or starting on lap 70. Oh, is that what it was? Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. As we get back here, folks, we are seeing guys come down pit road. That is PK Paul Crumry coming down pit road. Mike Edgerton down pit road as well. Fuller with about a half a second gap on Dalton. Now Dalton's getting pushed there by the 70 of Vinny Maestas. Oh, no. You probably got to talking about yourself and gave yourself the broadcaster's curse. We are still winding it down. Lap 72 in the books. So we get ready. We should start seeing some green flag pit stops here pretty soon. PK did go a lap down. Now he's got the 80 of Andrew Lutz, I believe, to his outside. I'm looking to see who the 80 is. It's supposed to be the 21. But he is running that 80 machine tonight. Oh, yeah. That's usually what gets me when I'm racing, is I'm talking to somebody in the channel and forget what I was doing. Well, folks, we are just a little over halfway through the race. Fuller, Dalton, Donaldson, Maestas, Coleman, Glazer. Now here comes, well, who is that? That is the 05 of Rick Sanchez. He is trying to get his lap back as Vinny Maestas drops to that middle line. Sanchez having to back off of it. We're going to make this 3 wide as Vinny Maestas is right there. And Sanchez backing out of it enough to let them do what they've got to do. We got another car coming up a pit road. That is the 388 of Doug Johnson. But Fuller has opened up to almost a full second gap on Dalton. And then he's got almost a full second on Donaldson. But here comes the 05 of Sanchez getting around Maestas. And I believe that is the 91 of Donaldson. Now Donaldson and Maestas side by side coming into turns 1 and 2. Maestas does get around Donaldson, gets back on that high side to maybe try to get a run. Ooh, that is the 21 of Andrew Lutz going through the grass. Don't know exactly what happened to Andrew, but he is going to go ahead and come down pit road. Does not bring out the caution as we are still green flag. Fuller opening up a second, a little over a second gap between him and Dalton. Maestas trying to close that gap between him and Dalton. Donaldson right there, Coleman, Glazer, Strader. Strader's about 2 seconds behind Glazer. And then you have Lee Robinson right there, Jerry West, Hunter Reynolds, Jane McCray, Jeff Hollingsworth, Bobby Wetzel, Dustin German, Brandon Pfeiffer, Ross Rawlings, Adam Pettit. They're all right here, 3 wide. But Pfeiffer getting off of it, didn't like what he was seeing, so he backed out of it. Now here comes Charlie Woods and the 81 of Daniel Dow battling. Now Daniel is a lap down car. We got Cody Eldred, Nick Wing, Robert Hooligan, Brian Elmore, John Mushton, Tyrone Harris, Stephen Luttrell, Jimmy Hop, Hunter Carlson back here kind of by himself. PK back here. PK wet down on pit road. That is Nathan Nixon, Rusty Modesty. Harold Rothbury trying to make his way back up. He gets by Bubba Winningham and the 924 of Ron Holyfield. Brent Elmore still out here, lap down. Doug Johnson, Daniel down, Mike Edgerton. I think they are a couple of laps down. Ron Holyfield, Andrew Lutz coming back out from pit lane. Everett Lane back out from pit road. It looks like we have lost Andrew Lutz Jr., Greg Bourbonier, Kevin West, Chris Walker, Matthias Swank, Andrew Farinars, Rick Ellison, Michael Hopp, and Larry Eddy. Let's book back up to the front as Justin Fuller opening up almost a 2-second gap as we see the 32 of Hunter Carlson going down the pit road. But he does have a 2-second gap on Dalton. Maestas about a half a second or so behind Dalton. And then Wesley Donaldson right there with Maestas. Coleman backing off just a little bit as we have a caution come out. I've seen Eric Laurie crashed. Let's take a look here and see what happened as we're on the 956 of Mike Edgerton as they go door to door. Oh, Mike just hard up into Eric. Eric gets spun. Unfortunately, that collects both of those guys, and that brings out a caution. Eric looks like he was able to get through that with very minimum damage. As he keeps it down on the apron, keeps it from coming back up on the track. Which my hat's off to Eric. Eric's a great driver. Can handle his car very, very well. I've raced with Eric. Raced with Eric and against Eric. So, unfortunate circumstances got him mixed up in that. So, well, that's going to bring out another caution. I want to talk to one of these guys. And let me see if I can find him. PK, old buddy, what are you doing out there?
Got my lap back.
I see that. Hey, man, it's been a little bit wild tonight. I mean, still a decent car count. I mean, it's not the 53 that we had for race 1, but still pretty dang close.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I'm just kind of glad that we got some green laps going on here because I didn't think it was ever going to stop wrecking there. Well, yeah, this car. This is the first time I had to buy this car tonight. I didn't even have this car, so it's kind of definitely new to me. But it's as you get used to it, it's getting pretty fun. So it's not too bad. That last stretch, I had 56 laps on my right side tires, or my left side tires. So didn't do too bad. I held on to maybe the top spot, a top 7 there for quite a while, but then dropped back a little bit.
Right.
I had to go because I ran out of gas. But it's been fun, man. It's been fun out here.
So what was your tire wear? I know Chicagoland is notorious, especially I know when we ran the Cup cars here, was pretty notorious about chewing tires up. How was your tire run here? You said you had 56 laps on the left side.
My rights were 40%, so it really tore them up. So it just burned them clean off. So I'm surprised it wasn't rimmed when I came in.
Okay, and what are you guys getting on laps for fuel?
I'm getting about 35 to the tank right now. Best I could probably get is about 48, but really, it's been getting really, we're ready to go here. So.
All right, buddy. I'll let you go. Take care. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, buddy. We'll move him back down there as they go back. Green flag racing. Chicagoland green flag back out once again. We got to talk to PK Paul Cumright out there. Races with the Old Guys Racing Group. OGR, as they like to call themselves. So this is going to change dynamics. Everybody got tires. Alex, I didn't ask this. I didn't have a chance to look as the caution comes back out. Are they limited on tires, like tire sets, or do you have? Are they unlimited tires? If you could let me know, as we look back at what happened here, looks like it happened right here with, looks like Doug Johnson is who it took me to, or no, Andrew Lutz. Andrew goes sliding up the track, but I see smoke up there in the front. Let's let me see. Oh, I see it up there. Let me get up there to those cars. That happened way up here. That is the 84 of Ross Rawlings. It actually started ahead of Ross. That is the 01. Let me see. I see the 3 right there. Did he get pushed and got pushed to the apron by the 26 of Hunter Reynolds? No, he was on the high side. Looks like he just got loose on his own. He goes down to the inside. The 01 looked like he checked up. And there is the 909. Oh, right there. Comes back up on the track. And net code. Got the 01, the net code from the 26. And the 909 hard into the wall as well. And then the 84 of Ross Rawlings just barely clips. The 909 sends him up into the wall. Oh, Eric Laurie couldn't get it locked down in time. The 92 and the 80, the 05 of Sanchez. Several other cars involved in that, folks. Hit the wrong button again. Sorry about that, folks. We are getting to lap 91 under caution. And I wish I had a caution count, but I do not. We have lost several vehicles, several drivers now out of the race. As the pace car dives off the pit road, gets to the Geico restart zone, Chevyland green flag back out once again. The 51 of Fuller down on the inside. Donaldson in the 91 right there. Vinny Maestas trying to make a run on the inside with the 11 of Chad Coleman. We get back here, Bentley Glazer to the outside with the 29, or I'm sorry, with the 19 of Tyler Dalton. Now that outside line getting a run as the 80 of Andrew Lutz lap down vehicle is trying to stay out of people's way, staying to that bottom. Ooh, gets a little bit loose coming out of that corner, but he is going to go ahead and look like fall back towards the back of the pack. Jude Cases, how dare they hit the 909. The 909 she's talking about is James McCrae, and I hope I pronounced that name right. I try to get with these guys before the race and make sure I pronounce their names right. A lot of these guys are not in Discord. As we get back out to the front, Justin Fuller, Wesley Donaldson, Bentley Glazer trying to make a run on the outside with the 11 of Coleman. Glazer still on the outside of the 151 of Fuller. 91, that is Wesley Donaldson down on the bottom. Coleman making it around the 91. And we've got another caution here, folks. Let's take a look and see what it takes me to. We see Eric Laurie with the missing hood. I think this was the last lap. This was the last wreck they had. Let me go back here and I'm not sure what threw that flag post. It's not showing me. Like John Mushton went down off the track. Let's see what this shows me here. Looks like him and the 39 going door to door. Well, that sent John down to the infield collect. Oh, somehow Andrew Lutz missed that. Missed getting a lot of damage anyway. As the 24 goes down into the infield. And does he keep from hitting the wall? He does. Well, even though he spun out, still a great save to keep from hitting the wall. As we go back live here, folks. Fuller, your leader. Glazer in second. Coleman third. Donaldson fourth. And Dalton rounding out your top five. Vinny Maestas, last week's winner, there in sixth. We got Cody Eldred coming down pit road. John Mushton coming off of pit road, as well as Rick Sanchez. Now, Cody did make it out. Eric Laurie down on pit road, as well as Andrew Lutz. Now we have Everett Lane is back out on the track, but he is 16 laps down. So Doug Johnson, Andrew Lutz Jr., Greg Bermanier, Kevin West, Chris Walker, Matthias Swank, Andrew Farinars, Rick Ellison, Michael Hopp, Larry Eddy have taken their cars behind the wall for the night. Well, folks, we're going to step aside for just a second. We will be right back. A pace car dies off down the pit road, and we are back. Green flag race through the Chevyland. Green flag back out. Lap 98 of 134 in the books. So I'm going to do something here while they are racing. Fuller, your leader. Coleman second. Glazer in third. Dalton fourth. Donaldson in fifth. As I am looking for something and I cannot find it.
Sizzling summer savings are yours for the taking.
All right. We are still green flag racing. Chad Coleman has taken over the lead. Bentley Glazer in a second. Justin Fuller falling back to third. Donaldson in fourth. Dalton rounding at your top five. You got Vinny Maestas there in a sixth. Pettit in a seventh. Strader ninth. Eighth. Hollingsworth ninth. Woods in a 10th. Reynolds in 11th. As we get another caution come out. I got to get back down here to my not sure what brought out that caution, folks. Let's see if it shows me here. We'll be, as we are on the 84 of Ross Rawlings. Looks like it happened right in front of them. Let's go to a far chase here. Oh, the 50. Oh, we're going to have to get on the 50. That's Dustin German. Up into the catch fence. We're going to take a look here because that is the 40 of Brandon Pfeiffer to the outside of the 50. The 49's right there. Looks like the 40 come down, caught the 50, and they were banging. 50 saves from going into the 29. Well, here comes the 79 of Hollingsworth. Somehow made it through. The 40 comes back up. The 50 goes up high, hits the wall, and the 0-1 of Jerry West just launches him up into the air, into the catch fence. Oh, that was nasty. He is rolling inside over side down the apron. The 5 comes sliding in. Well, folks, we're going to rewind this. We're going to see what it looked like in his cockpit from about right here. Yep, he went up in the air. I bet he had a Ricky Bobby Bennett moment and said, I'm in the air upside down. This ain't good. That was one nasty flight. Well, Bentley Glazer has taken over the lead. Harold Rothery up to second. Now, Harold is one of our biggest mover, not our biggest mover, but one of them. Our biggest mover is going to be this number 9 machine of Nick Wing, who is up 38 spots into 9th. We got several cars a lap down, several drivers out of the race. As we get ready to go back green here, folks. I see Spacebug out there, Jude K out there in chat. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We got 19 viewers, 9 likes. If you haven't hit that like button as the Chevyland green flag comes back out on the loud pedal, Glazer getting a good jump. Rothery in second, Coleman in third. But if you haven't hit that like button, be sure you hit that like button. Also, if you're new to Maxspeed TV, please subscribe and hit that bell icon. I'll let you know every time that we go live. And we're wrecking back here. That is Chad Coleman, if I'm trying to get on his name, gets spun out. That's going to bring out a caution. Let's take a look here. It happened right there coming off of the, or almost into the corner, or coming out of the corner there, I should say. I believe the 7 of Rothery comes up, gets into the 51 and the 11. That sends them two guys down into the infield. Rothery tapping that inside safer barrier. 11 somehow kept it off of the walls and still gets back going. Unfortunately, that's going to drop him back 18 spots. Or actually, it's going to drop him back more than that. But he went from second all the way back to 25th. So it took him back 23 spots. We're going to go back live here, folks, so we can get that stuff off. We get that on the radio off. Well, guys, we're going to go ahead and step aside, take a break here real quick. And we are going to see our commercial for Chevyland. Hang tight. We'll be right back.
Sizzling summer savings are yours for the taking at North Louisiana's #1 dealer, Chevyland. Save now before the price adjustments kick in. Get up to $9,000 off MSRP on select new Silverado models or incredible 0% financing on select new Chevrolet vehicles. And the Chevyland Advantage, 12 months, no charge scheduled maintenance. Get the best deals at North Louisiana's #1 dealer, Chevyland. Your Silverado headquarters. Online at Chevyland.com.
All right, folks, we are back. Sorry about that. Had to take a little bit of a break to rest my voice. A lot of cautions going on tonight, folks. I've lost count, but we are lap 107 of 134. We need another good green flag run to finish out this race. As we look, Rick Sanchez down on pit road, or coming off of pit road. Rusty Modesty on pit road. Jerry West on pit road as well. But we have lost the 51, the 909, the 01, the 84, the 24. No, the 24 is still out there. I think that is Everett Lane. He is out on the track. But it looks like Ross Rawlings did drop from the race. Nathan Nixon, Andrew Lutz Sr. out here. Eric Laurie down on pit road. And Doug Johnson out of the race. But Jimmy Hops, James McCrae, Jerry West, Ross Rawlings, Nathan Nixon, Eric Laurie, and Doug Johnson. Well, right now, Bentley Glazer is your leader. Justin Fuller to his outside. Hunter Carlson up to third. Vinny Maestas fourth. Wesley Donaldson rounding out your top five. As we get ready to go back green for the Chevyland green flag, the pace car does dive off down to pit road. They get to that Geico restart zone. Chevyland green flag back out once again. Here we go. Lap 108, 26 laps to go. Can they go the distance on the green flag run? We'll see what happens as Justin Fuller drops it down in front of Vinny Maestas. Almost looks like he took his nose off, but Vinny was able to check up to keep from causing or getting into a wreck. I'd almost say cause a wreck, and get into a wreck. As that allows Tyler Dalton to jump around Vinny, but Vinny down on the inside. Hunter Carlson right there in the mix to the outside on that high line. Wesley Donaldson right there as well. Kind of looking back through, everybody else is a side-by-side single file. Back up to the front, though. This is where the action is. Fuller's right there in first. Now we got a battle for second between Glazer and Dalton. They're back and forth. That is Glazer down on the inside, Dalton on the outside. And then we got a little three wide, possible three wide action happening here between Hunter Carlson, Wesley Donaldson, and Vinny Maestas. That is Donaldson dropping it down to the inside. Maestas just getting in line, hitting that apex. Hunter Carlson trying to peek down to the inside, but Donaldson closes that door as Bentley Glazer. Oh, Bentley into the outside wall. That's going to make us three wide. Bentley's going to lose a few spots here. We are door to door between the 70 of Maestas and the 32 of Carlson as we come into turns 3 and 4. We're going to see what happens. We're going to stay right here on this battle for a minute. Now Maestas down on the inside. Carlson up on the high side. See several different cars taking several different lines. Maestas running that midline almost all the way through the 29 of Christian Strader, dropping it down to that very bottom line. Well, let's see. The 36 is back here. I see William Luttrell out there talking about Steven. He is trying to make something happen. He is in 12th right now, working his way up. But back up here on this battle between Maestas and Carlson, just back and forth, door to door. 21 laps to go. Maestas coming up to that high side in front of, or drops it down in front of Glazer. Now Glazer's dropped back a 2.6. But him and Vinny's going to battle it out now. But Vinny's going to have the edge coming out of turn number 2. Glazer's going to fall back. But here comes Jeff Hollingsworth on the outside of the 29 of Christian Strader. Now it's going to be a battle right here for 7th. Hollingsworth drops down to the inside line, coming back up, letting the car float out, and dropping it down on that apex to that bottom line. Seems like he has got a rhythm going here. And the number 3, that is the 76 of Lee Robinson, making a run on the outside of Strader. Hunter Reynolds there in the 26. Adam Pettit. Well, Stephen Luttrell still back here in 12th, but Stephen's looking on the inside of Pettit. Going to try to see if he can't get a run to get into the top 10. Stephen does take it up a little high, but now he is hitting that apex, keeping it down on that bottom. Now we got a battle for second. Donaldson right around Dalton. Pretty much no trouble getting around Tyler Dalton. Tyler may be trying to save some tire. Who knows? As Vinny Maestas closing that gap on Dalton. Now we're looking back here. Hollingsworth to the outside of the 32 of Carlson. Got a car scraping the wall. Here comes Hollingsworth to the outside. The 32 of Carlson on the inside. Hollingsworth's going to have the run as the caution comes out. It looks like that was on Brandon Pfeiffer. We see a car up close to the wall. I don't know if he sees it, checks up, but the 81, that is Daniel Dow right behind him. We'll see what happens. And Daniel gives him a shove and ends up spinning both of them out. And then the 78, that is PK. Paul Cumrod getting a piece of that as well. As the 40 of Pfeiffer goes up into the wall. PK and the 81 of Daniel Dow both up into the wall. Well, that's going to bring out our caution here, folks. With 16 laps to go, it's really any of these top 5. It's going to be any of them's ball game. We see the top 3 coming down. That's Fuller, Donaldson, Dalton, Maestas, Glazer, and Hollingsworth stayed out. But Carlson, Reynolds, Pettit, Strader, Wing, German, Coleman, Eldred, Wetzel, Elmore, Brent Elmore, Mushton, Pfeiffer down pit road, Harris, Tyrone Harris down pit road, Hooligan, Harris, Krapike, Elmore, Brian Elmore, Rick Sanchez, Harold Rothery, Daniel Down, Mike Edgerton, and Everett Lane back down on pit road as well. Well, 15 laps to go. We are going to wind this down, hopefully fairly quickly, folks. Hang tight. We will be right back.
Sizzling summer savings are yours for the taking at North Louisiana's #1 dealer, Chevyland. Save now before the price adjustments kick in. Get up to $9,000 off MSRP on select new Silverado models or incredible 0% financing on select new Chevrolet vehicles. And the Chevyland Advantage, 12 months, no charge scheduled maintenance. Get the best deals at North Louisiana's #1 dealer, Chevyland. Your Silverado headquarters. Online at Chevyland.com.
Well, that probably would help, William. I must have hit it with my fat gut. But here we go. Chevyland green flag back out. See, that's why we have some of the greatest fans in our racing. They usually know when I mute my mic by mistake. So thank you, William, for that. But Vinny Maestas to a good lead. Here comes Bentley Glazer. Justin Fuller to the outside. Jeff Hollingsworth on the inside. And Wesley Donaldson trying to come up the middle there as Hollingsworth comes up a little bit. Oh, that is the 901 of Charlie Woods up into the wall. But that's going to bring out another caution. Looks like we had a couple other cars. Harold Rothery and Brian Elmore. Let's see Harold Rothery right there. Well, let's go to a far chase. That is the 30 of, or the 39 of Brian Elmore. Well, we're going to take a look here. Brian looks like he's trying to come down on that line. And the 24 of John Mushton comes in there and just was nowhere for Harold to go either. And then the 924, Ron Holyfield, somehow gets by it. Andrew Lutz, he gets into the back of Rothery. And that's what brings out our caution again, folks. Like I was saying, I do appreciate everybody tuning in. And I know it's been a long night. Of course, like I said, William Luttrell out there keeping me in line. Spacebug tuning in. June K. Alex Green, our OP Thursday night main admin. He takes care of a lot of stuff. Unable to make the race tonight. Mike Taldo, our newest broadcaster here on Maxspeed TV, had to race tonight, but he is tuning in. Luke Gray out there in chat. Moose Pie, Storm Chaser, David Casper tuning in. Of course, my buddy, good friend here, Timothy Bates, tuning in as well. Belva Feltz, who's always in here cheering on the old 5 of Rick Sanchez. Glad to see her at least tuning in for a little bit. Same with Moose Pie. And again, I don't know who. I'm just going to call it Frack. I don't know him personally, but I have seen him in chat before. So thank you for tuning in, Frack. Lorna Luttrell out there tuning in. Or Lorna Luttrell, sorry, Lorna. Tuning in to chat as well, rooting on Steven. And I'm looking to see, of course, Stephen Luttrell popping into chat instead of driving. And then, of course, our mod, Brendan Kennedy, who is always here. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, there is Miss Madison Ball. Madison, how are you doing? I try to watch a little bit of that race Tuesday night, but I had to go back and watch that last few laps, and yeah, I didn't say anything, but I thought that was kind of sketch, if you know what I mean. I'm glad you're doing well. As the pace car dies off down to pit road, Chevyland green flag back out once again. Vinny Maestas on the loud pedal, dropping it all the way down to the grass, trying to make that tri-oval a little bit straighter, but he does get a good jump to 51 of Justin Fuller. Bentley Glazer making a run to the outside of that 91 of Donaldson. Jeff Hollingsworth looking to make a run on the 91, having to check up. Here comes the 76 of Lee Robinson, making it 3 wide with Charlie Woods. And I believe that was the 19 of Tyler Dalton And we are still 3 wide. That is the 32 of Hunter Carlson, the 49 of Adam Pettit. Charlie and Adam. Charlie in the middle. The 90 comes around fairly easy. That's Bobby Wetzel. And here comes the 32 of Hunter Carlson. Justin Fuller taking the lead away from Vinny, as now Vinny and Donaldson are door to door. Now we're 4 wide here. That is the Hollingsworth, the 29 of Strader, the 19 of Dalton. But we've got a crash that's going to bring out a caution with 6 to go. Let's take a look here. That's showing me right here on the 50, the 9. That is the 9 car is Nick Wing. But we're going to see if it happened there or in front of them. We see the 4 wide door banging up front. The 126 comes up. That got Nick Wing up into the 50 of Dustin German. I was looking for the 126. That was Robert Hooligan. As these 2 guys are up on the wall. And that's going to bring out our other caution. Justin Fuller, your leader. Donaldson second. Maestas third. Glazer fourth. And Strader in a fifth. But yeah, I would have to agree with you on that, Madison. It was kind of sketch. It really was. It looks like Nick Wing, Mushton, and Elmore down on pit road. Andrew Lutz still down there as well as Jerry West. Unfortunately, we have several vehicles out of the race as we get back ready to go. For 4 laps to go, so this will be a regulation at GWC. As we get ready to go back green here. Fuller is your leader. Donaldson second. Maestas third. Glazer fourth. Strader fifth. Then we have Hollingsworth, Dalton, Robinson, Reynolds, Coleman, Pettit, Wetzel, Woods, Carlson, Luttrell back in 15th. Hooligan in 16th, Pfeiffer, Crumry, Eldred, Elmore, Sanchez, Harris, Rothery, Winningham, Brian Elmore, Mushton, Wing, and then we have Mike Edgerton. Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be, man, that, Alex, I don't know how that, that's something you guys will have to figure out. I don't even want to give my opinion because I wouldn't even know how to do that unless you do a small heat race or something before the feature. But here we go. GWC attempt regulation. GWC attempt, I should say. The Chevrolet green flag back out once again on the loud pedal. The 51, the 151 of Justin Fuller on the loud pedal. Vinny Maestas. Oh, Vinny goes to up high into the 91 of Donaldson. Car pushed up, looked like it might have got tight, just pushed up to the top side. Excuse me, Vinny Maestas driving it in hard. Well, we have a caution come out here. And let's take a look. It happened on up front. Let me get to... we're going to go up here. That looked like the 79 of Hollingsworth, the 19 of Dalton, and the 76 of Robinson, the 25 of Glazer right there. Hollingsworth up in just corner, taps the wall. And looking at the 3 or at the 76, it looks like he might have caught Hollingsworth. On that left corner. Hollingsworth did tap the wall a little bit. And then the 76 just caught him. And you see the back end of that car lift up. And that sent him down into the 19. 19 up in the air. And then Glazer, nowhere for Glazer to go. He goes right into the back of the 19. Oh, the 901 of Charlie Woods. Right in the mix. The 78 of PK launches that 76 car up in the air. And then somebody, that was, who was that? Finished off Glazer. That was the 921 of Tyrone Harris. Just kind of finished off Bentley there. We're going to go back live here. So we will be GWC attempt number 1. When we go back green, hang tight, folks. We're going to step away. Be right back. All right, we come out of turn number 4. Pace car will dive off down to safety of pit road. GWC attempt number 1. The Chicagoland green flag back out once again, folks, on the loud pedal. Here we go. Can they make it around? We know guys are going to be jockeying for position, especially being a GWC attempt. As the 91 of Donaldson gets around Maestas. Here comes the 11 of Chad Coleman. The 29 of Christian Schrader to the outside. Coleman dives down to the bottom. Gets right behind Maestas. Maestas trying to get that inside run. As we come back to the start-finish line, we will be white flag in the air. So now it is going to happen. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen. These guys, we're going to keep an eye on this. It looks like they are going to be pretty much all right here for the finish. But we got to look at Christian Strader. He is trying to make a run. It's Vinny Maestas diving it down to the inside. Is he going to make it stick? He's not going to have enough. Here comes a 29 of Strader. He's going to drop it down to the bottom. It looks like Strader will finish third. Fuller first. Donaldson second. Strader third. Maestas will finish fourth. And Chad Coleman will round out your top 10. So we'll see. I don't see Fuller or Donaldson. We'll see if they jump in here into the booth, into the waiting room. We'll see, into the podium winners, I should say. If not, then we will not have a post-race interview. We are going to watch and see. So hang tight. We're going to go ahead and step aside and wait for these guys to show up. If they do not, then we'll come back with our unofficial results. But we will be back in just a minute. All right, folks. Well, let me get some stuff cleared off my screen now. He's already gotten out of his car, but Christian Strader is our third place finisher. So we're going to move Christian on up to the broadcast channel. Christian, awesome job. P3 tonight, buddy. You had a pretty decent run. You started up towards the top anyway. About sixth place, so top 10. Of course, pretty rough night out there tonight.
No, it definitely was. I was gonna say, I mean, I felt like I had pretty good speed, but once you got back, I mean, it was a hornet's nest. It was a hornet's nest in the mid pack in the back, and it was a little tough to kind of make passes, get up through. You get a run, and then something's going on in front of you. You got to check back up, and so
Right.
But it ended up being a pretty good night.
Well,
Ended up
let's talk a little bit about pit strategies and tire wear. Of course, with the new tire models on these cars that they did on the update. I heard that they can be a little bit tricky at times, but Chicagoland, being a more technical track, the tire wear was pretty extreme from what I understood from talking to a couple of guys during the race.
Yeah, I would say it was, but it wasn't. The lap time dropped off tremendously. You really wanted to kind of get the tires when you could. But overall, I thought the car stayed decently balanced. It didn't really move too tight. It got a little loose at times, but I thought that end of the tire wear was pretty good. You just couldn't really stay out, just because like the fall off was way too big. And then on pitch strategy, I don't really know how you plan for pitch strategy on this. Too many yellows to really kind of try to come up with anything to do there.
Well, I know you guys were getting about anywhere from 35 laps to maybe 38, maybe even a little bit more if you were able to save. So, of course, you're trying to get points to, especially, being a points league, try to get as many points as you can. So, well, Christian, just real quick, dude, I'm tired. I know you guys got to be tired too. It's getting late. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the mic over to you, brother. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, thanks you want to give before you go celebrate?
Yeah, just want to say thank you to you, Steven, for putting on a good broadcast and coming out here and taking care of things for us every week. And then also to Alex for putting everything together, Hunter and Cody for being in here for race control and things like that go on the racetrack. And other than that, just anybody that watches us at home.
All right, Christian. I appreciate it, buddy. Go celebrate. We will see you next week, brother.
Yeah, you have a good one, and hopefully we'll be talking to you next week.
All right, man. We'll get him back down there. Well, that's going to bring us to our second place finisher here tonight. Let me get on his car, and then we will bring him up here. That is going to be the 91 of Mr. Wesley Donaldson. Now, Wesley, buddy, you started back in 9th, so you had a top 10 start, finished P2. I seen a lot of door banging going on, especially right there at the end between, like you and Christian and Vinny. Didn't see anything that was real intentional, just hard racing.
Yeah, I think the thing with Vinny there, especially, Fuller said he went to the apron. I didn't quite see it, but when he slid back up, I don't think he realized that we were 3 wide, so it caused me to get into Bentley and get Bentley on the wall up there too. But yeah, there's a lot of good hard racing up front. Both Fuller, Coleman, Wetzel, Dalton, and even Bentley. Like, those are all guys that I race with in another league a couple other nights, so we all kind of know how to race each other and know we can race each other pretty hard. So it was a ton of fun when we got some green flag laps then.
Well, I was asking Christian about the tire wear, and I know PK was talking that he had 50-something laps on his tires when he finally got fresh, and I think his tire right side was down to like 40%. How was your tire wear? Was you able to, save tires and finish? I mean, obviously, I don't know what the tire count was, if y'all have a set limit. I didn't ask Alex that. But how was your tire wear throughout the race?
I think there was some decent fall off. We got 5 sets in the pits, so there was definitely a lot to go around there. So it was never like you got too bad. We did have that one long run, and I was down to about 45 on the right front, but it seemed like really important to save that right front. For whatever reason, like, these aren't kind of like the old Gen 4 where they get as loose. They're a lot tighter, especially on entry. So really just backing up the corners and trying to not abuse that right front tire seems to be what keeps you fast in the long run here. But it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't horrible. There were some interesting scenarios too where some people stayed out and kind of stayed up front that I didn't think were going to quite work. But I think if some of those runs would have went a little bit longer, I think the tires would have shown at times.
Well, that ride to Dente 91 machine worked well for you tonight, buddy. I'm not going to keep you much longer. Of course, it's getting late, and I know we're all tired. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the mic over to you, Wesley. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, thanks you want to give before you go celebrate, buddy?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody in the league here that makes this happen, all the admins, everybody. I know it's been a lot of cautions the first few weeks, but there has been some good racing thrown in there. Thanks to my sponsors, which I don't have an updated paint scheme on here yet, but WBD Diecast, which is where I make custom diecasts for NASCAR, Cup, Xfinity Truck, ARCA, iRacing paint schemes, all that stuff. Trans Service Logistics, Cook's Landscaping Group, everybody with the Sim 500 guys, and we race a couple other nights a week that all of them came over and raced tonight. We had a ton of fun. So, yeah, look forward to next week and hopefully be up here again.
All right, Wesley. Appreciate it, brother. Go celebrate, and we will catch you next week.
Yep, see you then.
All right, we'll go ahead and move him up there to the post-race campfire. Well, that's going to bring us to our winner tonight. And let me get him pulled up here to the broadcast channel. Justin Fuller started in P1, finished P1. Got the pole. We were looking for you to get an interview for the pole, but I guess you guys, I didn't see y'all in the OP Discord. But, man, awesome job tonight. That real tree silver car, man, is beautiful, and it worked well for you tonight.
Yeah, when this car was announced, it took me a long time to figure out which paint scheme I wanted, and the Dave Marcus car was the one that stood out the most. So I got my buddy Trey, that's a really good painter, to paint it up for me, and yeah, ran good tonight. So wish we didn't have all those yellows, but at least that long run was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you guys had a pretty good, I think it was about 20-something laps of green flag racing you guys had. But all in all, I mean, I don't know. I can't really recall how many cautions we had, but a lot of them seem to be on the restart.
Yeah, because there's a lot of grip, especially on fresh tires or cool tires. So everybody's just giving it their all. So, I mean, it's just everybody's just driving over their heads, basically. Nobody's giving. They're just taking, which is unfortunate. If they would just let the race play out like they did that one restart, I think we might have to have done at least 40 laps because we were closing in on green flag pit stops that one run. So, I don't know. It was unfortunate. It wasn't a lot of fun except for that. So, I know I sound kind of dejected even though I won the race, but 18 yellows was a long time. You could even hear it in the admins and in the race. They were very dejected with how many cautions we were having. So hopefully we can get that cleaned up moving forward and have some good long run green flag racing.
Well, I don't think we want long run farts, but I mean,
Yeah.
but man, I know it's late, and we're not going to keep you any longer, Just. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the mic over to you, bud. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, thanks you want to give before you go celebrate your victory tonight?
Yeah, thanks to the admins at OP Racing for putting this together. This isn't easy by any stretch of the imagination. I'm well aware of the back end of an admin team, so I'm hopeful that it'll improve and things will get better. There's a lot of people out here on the track, a lot of new people, and everybody's just got to learn each other. So, but thanks to them for putting this on. This is a lot of fun. I really like this car. Thanks to you putting on the broadcast. I'll go pick through this tomorrow while I'm at work. And thanks to Trey Edson for painting my car. Did a phenomenal job. Other than it being 71, it's got a 51 on it. So thanks to everybody that watched. Thanks to everybody in the race. I mean, that was a lot of fun up front. We had a good, clean race. And I think we'll go to Rockingham next week. Hopefully I'll make it for that one. And that's one of my favorite tracks. So we'll see what happens there.
All right, buddy. We'll go celebrate. I'm going to go ahead and move you up to that post-race campfire so you guys can kind of talk it out. But awesome job, Justin. Congratulations again, buddy. Go celebrate. And like you said, I hope we'll see you next week.
Yep, absolutely. Have a good one.
All right, folks. Well, again, that is your winner, Justin Fuller, as we go back to a black screen here. But we're going to go ahead and get our results up here. Of course, this is any admin stuff that they have to do. Justin Fuller, your winner. Wesley Donaldson second. Christian Strader third. Vinny Maestas finishing with a top 5 in a fourth. Chad Coleman fifth. Bobby Wetzel in sixth. Hunter Carlson seventh. Stephen Luttrell, top 10 finish in eighth. Awesome job by Stephen. Brandon Pfeiffer ninth. Robert Hooligan in 10th. Brent Elmore in 11th. Cody Eldred 12th. Tyrone Harris 13th. Jod Mushton in 14th. Tyler Dalton 15th. Adam Pettit in 16th. Bubba Winningham 17th. Jeff Hollingsworth finishing in 18th. Finishing 19th, Harold Rothery. Nick Wing in 20th. Brian Elmore 21st. Charlie Woods 22nd. Mike Edgerton 23rd. Bentley Glazer and 24th. Daniel Dow 25th. Hunter Reynolds 26th. Ron Holyfield 27th. Lee Robinson 28th. Finishing 29th was PK Paul Crumry. Rick Sanchez in 30th. Dustin German in 31st. Everett Lane 32nd. Andrew Lutz 33rd. Rusty Modesty 34th. Jimmy Hop 35th. Jerry West 36th. James McCray finishing 37th. Ross Rawlings in 38th. Finishing 39th, Nathan Nixon. In 40th was Eric Laurie. Doug Johnson in 41st. Andrew Lutz Jr. 42nd. Greg Burbanier in 43rd. Kevin West 44th. Matthias Swank in 45th. Chris Walker 46th. Andrew Farrinars in 47th. Michael Hop 48th. Rick Ellison in 49th. And Larry Eddy finishing in 50. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight here on Maxspeed TV. Folks, it's been a long night, but we are done. Now, we will be back Saturday night for the OP Butt Kicker Unlimited Series right here on Maxspeed TV. And I'm trying to see where we're at. Looks like we will be at 08 Daytona, sponsored by Stephen Luttrell. So that's going to be bumpy road, rough Daytona, old Daytona, the track that I really hate, Daytona. So we will be live same time at 7:45 Central, 8:45 Eastern. But until then, folks, please have a good night. Stay safe, and we will see you on Saturday.